All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Assemble. My name is Hyrule, and if you're looking at the screen right now, you're wondering what is that you're seeing. Well, tonight there was the FKNA podcast in which that they had the lead animator AJ from Crystal Dynamics on, and I'm going to go through a little bit of the podcast here and talk about some of the things that were mentioned. Obviously, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'll leave that for you guys. The description will have the VOD. But I am going to pick out a few things here, including some information on Spider-Man. Okay, so the part I'm going to highlight here is they're going to talk about how long it takes for a character to come out. You know, historically, most people thought at the start of the game's launch, you had, Kate, then Clint, and then maybe a few months after you'd have T'Challa. But there's some information in here that is kind of pertinent to the conversation at hand when it comes to kind of guessing the future of the game and what characters you could expect to see in 2022, for example. So let's roll it.
How long does it take to usually map out character movements? I think that's a pretty interesting thing for us to talk about too. With you being like one of the lead guys.
And this is a great question, mind you. This is a really good question.
On it, and I know you said it takes a while because it is a smaller team and you guys dive into this, but
the smaller team part is really scary. There's always been speculation that it is a skeleton crew. Within this podcast, I believe that he says he's working with 3 people on the animation team for the heroes. I don't have the exact clip for that, but I do remember hearing that when I was watching it live. So we got to keep that in our consideration as well when we listen to this kind of answer that's coming about the heroes themselves.
Realistically, how long was it to do like Clint's animations per se, or Kate, or somebody like that, or maybe if you guys did them all at once, like how was that developed?
No, that would never. Oh my god, that'd be crazy. That would be crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm sure not all 6 are right off rip we're done.
Oh my god, I can't imagine. That would make my brain explode. How long does it usually take to map out character movements? I mean, I'd have to get a little more detail, Pizza. But like if you're talking about the actual locomotion of them walking and running and idling and jumping, all that stuff, that's one thing versus the combat, or if you're just asking about all that together. But generally speaking, heroes take 4 to 6 months, it's kind of hard, dude, to put a number on sometimes.
This is the part I want to zone in on a little bit here, because this is the information that's kind of pertinent when we talk about next year, for example, right? So Miller has kind of data mined Bucky, She-Hulk, Captain Marvel. We know Spider-Man's coming. We know we have T'Challa next month. But what about after that, right? If it's 4 to 6 months per hero, right? Where do these characters fall next year? Is it 3 characters a year that we should be expecting? I once again, I don't know all the processes in play here, but 4 to 6 months sounds okay. But then, like how many should we be expecting over the lifespan of the game, right? It really starts to make you wonder a little bit here. We're just gonna continue on because there's some information here that I really think that we should kind of continue on and listen to. So let's keep going.
I'm not gonna lie, because
I'm sure there's things that pop up too that are like unforeseen, like all of a sudden, boom, you hit a texture and like you fall right through the floor, like what I'm saying, like oh shit, we gotta like kind of probably backtrack just slightly.
Well, yeah, that's like more of a general issue, but like it's more creative at that point, right? Like how much head start we get on something, basically, if assets are ready for us to get in there. We also do a lot of mocap, so depending on the actors, if we've gotten the data that we want, etc., and so forth, that kind of guides a lot of how the process works. But I would say anywhere between 4 and 8 months. It really is. It's kind of organic in a sense, which I feel really bad for our production team sometimes. Ooh. Because we're trying to just make stuff really awesome, and they're trying to make sure we get it done on time. But
hire more people, Square. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Hire more people. I mean.
Oh, okay. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so now we're going to skip to the part where they talk about Hawkeye specifically, because I think this is an interesting kind of ballpark here when it comes to the conversation around Hawkeye, for example, and why there could have been such a delay between what was, Future Imperfect and Taking Aim with Kate's operation, the time between them, right? Okay, so let's skip to about here.
Tenure, and then it's like, why leave?
Okay.
Kind of, yeah. I think a lot of times it's more of a personal choice at that point. They're like, I want to work on another project or do whatever it might be.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think Clint or Hawkeye, I think he took 5 months, 6, 4 6 months.
4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
4 to 6 months. Yeah, 4 to 6 months there for him specifically. Now the main point of this is let's talk about Spider-Man, because there's some Spider-Man information here that I think is very pertinent to this conversation. So we're going to jump right over to about here. and we're going to hear the answer for Spider-Man.
To it, and I think that really kind of comes out in Fighting Monica.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Wait, is somebody asking about Spider-Man? Spider-Man's the end of the year. That's all I can say. End of the year. That's already been said. That's already.
AJ, I'm sorry, buddy. That hasn't been said. That hasn't been said. There has been nothing to say that Spider-Man's the end of the year. That is new information.
Been said somewhere.
It hasn't been. It hasn't been said somewhere. It hasn't. This is the thing that I really want to talk to you guys about tonight. So now we know that it's not really good to expect many characters next year, probably. We now know Spider-Man is now the end of the year, which probably leans towards the December release date. We now know that based off this, once again, I don't have the clip number for this, but there's 3 people working on hero animation. And speculation here, it sounds like it's only Scott Walters and Vince Napoli working on the combat stuff. So I don't know what to take away from this in general. If you guys are going to want to watch the full thing, the VOD will once again be down in the description below. But I had to point these things out here because I think this is important information that people should know. This is huge information, right? Like, this is huge information. Now we have kind of an idea of roughly the size of some of the teams. Now we know Spider-Man is the end of the year. Now we know kind of where to ballpark some of these characters and where to expect them, right? This is huge information that I wasn't expecting to get Saturday night, 9:45. This is crazy. This is crazy. But that's all I got for you guys. Once again, VOD down in the description below. Hopefully, FK Pewter, Kickstand, Space Ghost, Old Head, and Garnfather don't hate me for pointing these things out. But I felt like this was important information that people should know based on this podcast. So once again, guys, I'll see you guys next time here on the channel. Enjoy the rest of your night, day, evening. Take care of yourselves. Adios.